how often should dogs actually be bathed? It sounds like such a simple question, doesn't it? But as you'll see, the answer is absolutely not a one-size-fits-all number. In fact, getting this wrong can actually do way more harm than good to your pet's health. Moving into section 1, let's talk about dog bathing and a very common myth. So many of us unconsciously project our own human hygiene standards onto our pets. We think, I shower every day, so my dog definitely needs a bath every week. But biologically, that's a total myth. See, humans sweat heavily. We produce oils that need frequent washing just to prevent body odor and breakouts. But dog skin is a completely different ecosystem. They don't sweat through their skin like we do, and they actually desperately need to retain their natural oils. So frequent baths with soap and water, they actively fight against your dog's biology. It turns out these natural oils aren't what make a dog dirty. Actually, these secretions are a built-in defense mechanism. They protect the skin's microbiome, keep the fur smooth and silky, and prevent the skin from drying out and flaking. Think of it like a natural, self-replenishing lotion that keeps their coat waterproof and healthy. Pretty amazing, right? And this brilliantly illustrates what happens when we ignore that biology. If you wash your dog every single week, you're aggressively depleting those natural oils. Without that protective barrier, your poor dog develops dry, itchy, and irritated skin. You'll literally start to notice dandruff-like flaking, and ironically, overbathing can actually trigger excessive hair fall. So you might be trying to keep your house sparkling clean, but overbathing will just leave you with way more loose fur on your furniture than ever before.
All right, section 2, let's look at bathing by age and coat type.
So if we can't bathe them all the time, what exactly is the right schedule? Well, before we even look at adult dogs, there is a critical number you need to remember: 45. 45 days. A puppy must absolutely never be fully bathed in water before they are at least 45 days, or roughly 8 weeks old. This is an absolute golden rule for new pet parents. Now, you might be wondering why. The science behind this 45-day rule comes down to basic survival and physiology. Puppies under 8 weeks old simply cannot regulate their own body temperature. If you get them soaking wet, they can easily freeze. Or if you use water that's too warm, they can overheat. It's a major safety risk. If your tiny puppy gets into a mess, just skip the tub entirely. Seriously, just wipe them down gently with a warm, damp cloth instead. So the crucial point is figuring out the exact schedule for your specific pet once they are finally old enough. And that depends entirely on their coat. Adult dogs with short coats, like pugs or beagles, usually do well with a bath anywhere from every 15 days to every 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how dirty they get outside. But dogs with thick double coats or long hair, like huskies or golden retrievers, they need baths even less frequently, stretching from 3 to 8 weeks, just to protect that dense undercoat. And our senior dogs, those 8 years and older, they do best on a gentle schedule of about once every 20 to 25 days to avoid stressing their aging joints and skin. Okay, section 3, the correct bathing method. When bath day finally arrives, the whole routine should be about minimizing stress. First up, always brush your dog to remove knots, because hitting tangles with water just makes them so much worse. Next, protect their ears with cotton, wet them down with lukewarm water, and apply a shampoo formulated specifically for dogs. Please, don't use human shampoo. It completely destroys their skin's delicate pH balance. Finally, rinse thoroughly until the water runs completely clear, because left-behind soap causes severe itching, and then dry them gently with a thick towel or a blow dryer on the cool setting. Actually, I want to pause here and strongly emphasize that second step. Never, ever allow water to enter your dog's ears. A dog's ear canal is shaped very differently than ours, and trapped water creates this dark, moist environment that is literally a breeding ground for severe, painful, bacterial and yeast infections. Placing a cotton ball gently just inside the ear flap is a mandatory safety precaution before you even think about turning on the water. It's also kind of surprising to learn that water temperature is a huge factor. While we might love a steaming hot shower, hot water aggressively strips those precious natural oils right off a dog's coat. It leaves their skin vulnerable and actually worsens dryness and irritation. Lukewarm water is the absolute rule here. It should be comfortable to the touch, but never hot. Moving on to section 4, odor prevention without bathing. Now let's face facts, dogs can get pretty smelly between these scheduled baths. They roll in the mud, they play hard, they get a bit dusty. So if their skin needs a break from the tub, there are actually great waterless alternatives. Pet-safe dry shampoo sprays are fantastic for a quick refresh. Or even a dry bath using baking soda absorbs odors wonderfully. And sometimes simply wiping their paws with a damp towel after a walk keeps the house clean without stripping their skin's oils. Furthermore, a lot of what we perceive as that classic dog smell, it doesn't actually come from their coat being dirty. It often comes from loose, dead fur or bacteria in their mouth and ears. So, brushing your dog regularly, even brushing the fur in reverse to catch that loose hair, is a perfect alternative to a wet bath. Cleaning their ears safely and brushing their teeth to prevent gingivitis will drastically reduce their overall odor. And here is a real game changer of a tip that so many owners overlook. Sometimes the dog isn't dirty at all. Their bed is. Dogs spend hours on their beds, transferring oils and outside dirt. By keeping their environment clean, washing their plush toys, their leashes, and especially tossing their bed into the laundry with a quarter cup of apple cider vinegar to neutralize odors, you can often solve the smell problem entirely. No tub required. So what does this all mean? It all comes down to a simple philosophy. A clean dog is a healthy dog, but a truly healthy coat requires its natural oils. By extending the time between wet baths and relying on brushing and dry alternatives, we honor that biological need. So, the next time you reach for that bottle of dog shampoo, I want you to think about everything we just uncovered in this explainer. Ask yourself, are you truly cleaning your dog's skin, or are you accidentally damaging it?